Hi everyone, Melissa here. In today's video, I want to talk about messing with the middle and taking action and what all that has to do with manifesting. And then I have an awesome success story as a great example for you guys. And before I get into it, I just want to let you know we're still giving away that free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. And you can find the link for that in the description of this video. Okay, let's talk about messing in the middle. So you probably heard people say that before. You probably heard that term before. Maybe you've just thought about it yourself. Can I mess up my manifestation somewhere in the middle? The time between when I decide what I want and when I actually get my manifestation, can something happen in between those two times that messes it up? Can I do something that messes it up? Can I say something that messes it up? If I do something intentionally between the time I decide what I want and the time I get my manifestation, I'm going to mess it up. So it's any time you're maybe manipulating the 3D to try to get what you want would be considered messing with the middle, okay? Taking action in your 3D, taking action to get your manifestation is manipulating the 3D, messing with the middle, okay? So a lot of people in this law of attraction, law of assumption community frown upon that. You'll hear a ton of coaches and just people in general say, don't mess with the middle. You never have to take any action. You can always just manifest it without having to do anything in the 3D. Okay, first thing I want to say is, yes, absolutely. You never have to take action to get what you want. And if you're taking action in order to get what you want because you think you need to take this action in order to get what you want, that's likely not going to result in you getting your manifestation or all of your manifestation, the full manifestation, or in the way that you would like, because you're coming at it from the perspective of, I have to do this thing, I have to take this action, I have to mess with the middle, I have to mess with it out here in order to get it to show up how I want out here, okay? So you are in the state of being that what you want is not true, and you have to do things to get it to be true, okay? So that's why a lot of people will say, don't mess with the middle, you know, it's bad to do that. You should just let it happen how it's going to happen. And a lot of people look at manifesting as this magical thing that, you know, your manifestation will just show up in this beautiful, with this beautiful little bow wrapped on it. And it can totally be magical. It can. But what you should realize is, and the point of this video is, you make the rules in your reality. You make the rules in your quantum bubble. So if you decide that doing something is going to mess up your manifestation or mess with the middle or mess with the end result, then you're right. It will. So why not just decide that nothing can mess up your manifestation? Nothing you do will mess up your manifestation. You're already an expert manifestor. You've been doing it your whole life, so you're already exceptional at it. Now you're just learning to direct your attention more towards thoughts that align with what you want versus thoughts that align with what you don't. You're not getting better at manifesting. You're already an expert at manifesting. You're just getting better at directing your thoughts. You're getting better at disciplining your mind so that when you see your manifestations, they more frequently are what you want instead of what you don't. So why allow something to mess with the middle? Why allow yourself to have an obstacle there? You know, if you're deciding it's possible for something to mess with the middle, for something you do or say to mess with the middle, then you're right. That's the experience you're going to get. That's the feedback you're going to get from your circumstances. So first things first, you make the rules, and don't let it be possible that you can even mess with the middle. It's not possible for you. You stop deciding that limitation, that obstacle even exists for you. Okay. And then also this whole thing about don't take action. You should never have to take action. That's absolutely true. You never have to take action in the 3D to get your manifestation. However, if you feel inspired to take action, if you feel like you want to take action, there is nothing wrong with that unless you decide there's something wrong with it. It's not going to mess anything up unless you decide it's going to mess something up. It's not going to mess with the middle unless you decide it's going to mess with the middle. You know, always ask yourself, what is my intention behind the action I'm taking? Am I doing this because I think I need to do this to get this? Am I doing this because it's just reinforcing that what I want is true now? Am I doing this because I know that what's going to come out of it aligns with my desire? You know, the intention behind the action is just going to show you the evidence of that intention in your circumstances. So it's not that you can never take action and you should never ever do it. It's don't do it unless the intention behind it matches what you want. Otherwise, you're just going to get circumstances that you don't like, and then you're going to have to revise it or, you know, start to assume better things about it in order to get those circumstances to shift back to what you want. So your actions that you take will always prove you right. They will always show you what you believe. So what are the beliefs? What are the intentions? What are the assumptions behind whatever actions you're taking? Okay. But again, I just want to reiterate one more time, because there's a lot of confusion about this. You never have to take action to get what you want out here. The action is always done up here, and then out here pushes it out for you. And you can get exactly what you want, how you want it, if you will hold that assumption in spite of whatever circumstances are or are not showing up in your 3D. Okay. So this is a personal success story that I just had recently, and it involved messing with the middle and taking action. So I wanted to share it to kind of help clear this topic up. Okay. So I live in a community that has a homeowners association, and the homeowners association was grumping at me for something, and they wanted me to change something on the outside of my house, and they sent me some nasty letters, and then they were going to issue me a fine until I fixed this thing. Okay. And when I first got those notices, I reacted. I got upset. I really was not happy. You know, the thing that they were grumping at me for was already there when I bought the house. So I had nothing to do with putting it there or how it looks or what it is. And I sure was not going to pay a fine for it or do anything about it, because it's not my problem. You know, that should have been dealt with before the home was sold. Okay. In my mind. So I was upset. I was like, oh my gosh, why aren't they blaming me for this thing that I didn't even do that's been here? So I reacted. Okay. I got upset, and I let myself be upset because I was just irritated. And then I thought, you know what? This is not what's actually going to happen here. I'm not going to have to pay for this. These letters are ridiculous. This is not fair, and it's not my problem, and I'm not going to be held responsible for it. And they're going to apologize because they're going to realize they made a huge mistake, and they should have never bothered me about it in the first place. Okay. So that was my story. I decided to adopt from that moment forward. That's my assumption. I'm sticking to it. So in the meantime, I was still pretty irritated about it. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to just let them keep sending me these letters. I'm going to respond to them. So I chose to take action and leave a voicemail, and I sent an email to the people who sent me the letter. Okay. So that's me messing in the middle, right? Because my desired manifestation is they leave me alone. This isn't my fault. They're going to apologize. Okay. But I haven't got that yet. I haven't seen the evidence of that in my 3D yet. And I'm doing something related to that end result before I see the evidence of it. Okay. But the assumption I'm holding is that this action that I'm going to take aligns with my desire. It reinforces and supports my assumption that this is not my fault. They're going to apologize and realize they made a big mistake. Okay. So I left a voicemail and I sent an email. And I kept just staying firm in my news story about what was now true about this situation and these people. And not even 24 hours later, those people came back to me and said, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. You're so right. We didn't even know it. We should have checked our records. You can ignore any correspondence moving forward about this. We've taken it off the list. You're not going to be fined. We apologize. And by the way, let's talk about this other thing that needs to be addressed that we dropped the ball on. We should have fixed it months ago. We're going to fix that for you now. Okay. So I got my exact manifestation and more, because now they're also addressing a problem that I didn't even bring up in my initial, voicemail to them, telling them how frustrated I was. So I still got exactly what I wanted. I got the apology and I got the end result manifestation that I wanted, in spite of me taking action in the 3D. I didn't have to call them or leave that voicemail. Absolutely. I could have just stuck to my story and said, you know what? This is ridiculous. I don't have to pay it. They made a mistake. It's going to be fine. They're going to apologize. But I felt inspired to do that. I felt compelled to take that action. And so I did, with the knowing that what I wanted was true already. So I got my end result. So my point in telling you this story is, you can still get your manifestations if you choose to take action, as long as when you're taking that action, you're holding firm to your desired truth. You're in the state of being that equals your desire is already true right now. This is how this person is going to react to this. This is how this person thinks about and feels about me. This is how my health is. This is how my money situation is. This is how this situation is for me now. This is the way it is right now. No matter if I take this action or not, this is what is true about this thing, about this desire, about this thing I'm trying to manifest. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to stop getting so hung up on actions. What should I take action? Should I not take actions? Is it going to mess anything up? Am I messing anything up by doing something? It's only messing it up if you tell yourself it is, if you accept that it is. So use that as your rule going forward. Your rule is there's no rules. There's no rules. You decide what's true. You decide what's true in every moment. You decide what's true for you. So if you keep deciding that you can mess with the middle and that action you take is wrong, then that's what you're going to get as feedback from your circumstances. Now, again, I didn't have to take any action there. I would have still got my manifestation if I had, whether or not I had emailed or left a voicemail, I would have still got my end result, which was them saying, we're sorry, you don't have to pay this, we made a mistake. But I felt inspired to take that action, and I chose to do it coming from a place that my desire was true now. And so I also still got my manifestation. So the two things are not related. It's just, what are you going to believe is true? What are you going to believe is true? And then from there, you live your life. And if you're coming at it from the perspective of my desire is true now, and you have the inspiration, you have the desire to call somebody or to email somebody or to go do something, do it. Because as long as you're looking at it through that lens, through the perspective that what you want is true, then you're going to get it no matter what. But if you would rather just sit back and let it happen, you can absolutely do that too. Again, from the perspective that what you want is true now. And you will totally get what you want without having to lift a finger, because you never have to lift a finger, okay? But it's okay if you do. You never have to lift a finger, but it's okay if you do, okay? So I intend this video helped you. I just wanted to clear that up. I'm seeing a lot of questions from clients recently about both of those things, and a couple comments in our social media channels here, and I just felt like it deserved its own video. So here you go. This is my take on inspired action, taking action, messing with the middle. You can always get what you want without doing any of that. And also stop deciding that you even can mess with middle. Okay. I think that's it for this one. So if you guys have any video topics you'd like to see, please put that in the comments, because I love to know what you want to know about and provide that for you. And if you need help figuring out how to navigate your own circumstances, or what stories you're telling about whatever your desire is, or you're stuck with one of your manifestations, whatever it is, I'm here to help. I would love to help you. Available for one-on-one coaching. You can find the link for that in the description of this video. And I also have some amazing courses and affirmation bundles, also linked below. And I think that's it for this one. So I intend you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.